Plenty to talk about as well, and much to savour here. But to be fair, a scrappy first 40 minutes, probably caused by the sin binnings and the fight, and well, just players on the boil. Danny Brough gets us underway. Better in the second half, Steve, what do you think?
Well, I think Huddersfield, we mentioned it just before the half-time break, is that they've got to make sure they get a little bit more urgent in the forwards, because this Wigan pack, they are just absolutely blitzing them. It's all right having all that fancy playing. We know the qualities that we've got of Kevin Brown, Danny Brough and Luke Robinson. And oh, he did well there, didn't he, Deacon? Second opportunity to get it. But the problem is, you've got to lay the platform, and I'm afraid the Giants in the forwards are not playing like Giants.
This is Sam Tompkins. They saw the threat of him in the first half. They made sure on that tackle there, the first of this second half, that the threat would be nullified. Oldfielden nearly lost that. Wrestle on the ground by Falongo, almost coming up trumps. And Luluwai's kick right down the centre of the field, and on the first bounce into the arms of Brett Hodgson. He gives it to Leroy Cudjoe, but the Wigan wall arrives. It's a straight line of defence. There's very little room for manoeuvre for the opposition.
It's been a feature all the way through the season, and that's the major reason why they're in a possibility of picking up the league leadership trophy, and fully deserved, because they really have worked hard in the defensive line. They looked a lot fitter at the start of the season, and it's certainly showing. They're not dropping any of the pace.
Get the penicillin down, your son. Here is Gilmore. He gets it wide to David Hodgson.
I mean, that looked nice, Eddie, didn't it? But it was chain passing. They just passed the ball across. Wigan weren't particularly threatened by that play. Come back now to the middle of the field, and in fact, with Brett Hodgson, they're going to stretch you right across the right. Here they've got space.
They have, with Cudjoe. He's got Lawrence outside, and Cudjoe goes though the other way. Oh, and then it's a speculative pass.
Well, not the best, but you've got to give praise to the way that the Wigan defence just held tight. Nobody came out of the line. They knew exactly where they were going to put themselves into position, and that is not a good effort.
So Wigan back in possession, and Liam Farrell with it for them. Luluwai's the dummy half. And Huddersfield are pinged for offside by the referee.
Good play by Thomas Luluwai there. Quick play the ball. Knew that they were all
it's his international position, isn't it? His World Cup winning position.
I think it's his best position as well.
We might see him playing there, mightn't we, next year, do you think, fellas?
Yep.
Well, I think it's the position he wants to play. But that play from Huddersfield will devastate their coach, Nathan Brown. The start of the second half, he'll need them to hold on to the ball to get a chance to attack this Wigan line. They cough it up, and then they compound that error by giving a penalty away. Now look what's happening. Wigan attacking their line.
Fielden has it, but this time being forced back and forced to the ground. Stephen Wild called out by the referee not to get involved in that tackle because he was in an offside position. This is Riddell. Riddell gives the pass to Harrison Hansen. Almost gets round Robinson, but there's reinforcements there. Riddell waits. Inside it goes to Deacon. Then further wide to Luluwai, who attacks the line, tries to go round Gilmore. That's the fourth tackle. Brough was in there quickly. Tompkins now with Deacon, and he'll float the kick, looking for Joel Tompkins again. Cudjoe does better this time.
Well, he went for the ball, good position as well. Took it in the field of play. Another teasing kick from Paul Deacon. He's added an extra dimension, hasn't he, to this Wigan outfit with his experience, and especially with the short kicking game there. He's created a lot of problems for the Giants.
Well, prior to the first half here, and they're trailing 10-0 down, they really do look genuine dark horses again this year. Beat Wakefield 58-6 in their last outing a fortnight ago. They've scored 98 points to 10 in their last two games. It's the Huddersfield Giants, but they're up against the league leaders here tonight on their own ground, of course. After the league leaders' shield, which goes to the team finishing top after the weekly rounds.
That was a better kick and chase as well. Yeah, they've upped the ante now, the Giants. They realise that time has got to be ticking away. They're going to try to force them. They couldn't stop Wigan in that first half, getting over the advantage line. That's brilliant play.
It was from Luluwai, and a lovely flick pass as well. Here is Deacon again. He gets it then to Harrison Hansen. Harrison Hansen is halted by Michael Lawrence's challenge. Look at this.
Beautiful offload, wasn't it?
Fielden again, Wild. Never too far away from Stuart Fielden, with Mason still off the field. Last tackle here for Wigan. Deacon, another high kick. Straight up the middle this time. Hodgson claims it. And Hodgson begins the response from his own line. Liam Farrell just did enough. Brett Hodgson pops it up to Leroy Cudjoe again.
Somebody's going to have to try and get in here, Eddie, and win Huddersfield a quick play of the ball. Wigan are dominating the ruck now, and it's slowing Huddersfield down. They're finding it very, very difficult to get out of their own half. Big Earl Crabtree, 4 men in the tackle, down to 3. Slow play of the ball. Wigan line set. Somebody's going to have to win the floor.
Keith Mason has returned to the fray, down to Bill.
Oh, and Eddie, I tell you what, there was a roar of approval from the Wigan fans as Keith Mason went down to the sidelines to come back on, rubbing their hands in anticipation of what might lie ahead. I think he might be getting a touch soon, either of the ball or possibly a Wigan player.
Great kick from Danny Brough, but he did well. Carl Price funneled back and picked it up. The chase, though, is good from Huddersfield on that occasion. Stephen Marsh is at dummy half. A dipping pass to Sam Tompkins.
Eddie, I suppose fundamentally rugby league is a game of gaining. You get the ball and you have to gain some ground, then the opposition get it. At the moment, Wigan are just winning that simple battle. Look, even if it's a run from the acting halfback area like Thomas Luluai has just done there, there's no science in that, is there? He's just picked it up and run harder, stronger, and with better footwork than the opposition. Now then, there's some control of that play of the ball, but Wigan will still make ground on this next set.
Because it's with Coley. And that's the last one. They finish about 39 metres away from the Huddersfield line. Here is Luluai. Just bangs the ball into the ground and let it run towards the in-goal area. Hodgson's got something to do here. He can't do it. That's a great chase.
That is a great kick. The chase is great, Eddie. That kick is phenomenal.
It's all about controlling the game, and he certainly is doing that. Thomas Luluai, not only with his darting runs from dummy half, but that it's a perfect way to kick. Look at that, and look at the great chase. Plenty there. Good stuff.
I think if Michael Maguire wants to be hypercritical, he'd said to Carl Price, why weren't you up there alongside Stephen Marsh? Seen Josh Charnley, a Wigan centre, do the same for Hull Kingston Rovers. They're sprinters, though. There's a try at stake there. That was too casual, really, and I think the standards that Wigan have set this year, Eddie, that's something that they'll want to improve on. I know they've got the ball back.
Carl will say he got there quick as he can. Bill, probably.
Stuart Fielden might be coming in here.
Here we go. Mason's coming towards him. Fielden went away. There is Mason. That's the first collision since the punches were thrown.
Eddie, if he'd have run down the East Lancs Road, I'm assuring you that Mason would have followed him.
Well, Mason's done his job, I'll tell you.
Yeah, he's upset him, and he lost control of it.
He's upset Wigan, he has.
He's going to have a word with him.
Sean O'Loughlin lost it then, lost the football, that is. Now then, here's the referee having a word with both.
Okay, listen. You both got to end up in serious bother in this game, aren't you? All right. You've got to stay calm. Look at me when I'm talking to you. Yeah. You've both got to remain calm and just cut it out from here on. That's right. I'd look and feel.
Well, yeah, he's got, actually, to be fair, he had Fielden round the throat, then he pushed his head down into the turf. Fielden didn't like that. Tompkins was distracted. O'Loughlin was completely distracted.
To be fair, Eddie, that's been going on for donkey's years. I mean, you know, this is a tough game. You can't just get up and say somebody's ruffled my head.
What's a donkey?
No, he didn't ruffle. I'm not talking about the push on the face particularly. I'm talking about the grapple tackle. Give him a bit of breathing space, Brian. The lad's ill.
He's been that way for donkey's years.
You were still at school. What's up with you?
Here is Robinson for Huddersfield. Now, Griffin.
Well, have we seen the combination between Brown and Brough? No. Have we seen the combination between Brown and Robinson? The answer, no. They've got to start doing something.
That was Brown. This is Hodgson. Ball popped up to Gilmore. Good tackle by Mark Riddell. Lunt is the dummy half this time. Brown shows it, gives it to Griffin. It's the last one for Huddersfield. What can they get from this? Brough attacking the line. Dab over the top looking for Lawrence. Richards is the master of that. He just leaps higher than anybody else and just plucks it out of the air.
It's all about timing, and he does it to perfection. Look at that. Confidence.
It'd almost be better putting that play on, Eddie, somewhere in the middle third of the field rather than the flanks, where Wigan with Carl Price and Pat Richards, who spend a large percentage of their week in preparation for that play in both attack and defence. Put it to players who don't really want or expect the ball to come in that manner.
Fielden attracts two more to him again. Mason inevitably one of them with Filongo this time. And Deacon gets the kick away. This is a possible 40-20. Oh, it stands. It stood. Now then backwards. Ooh, he got away with that, Brett Hodgson.
Yeah, it looked as though it had a slight bend forward, but Phil Benton was quite confident. Ooh, I think that was a knock-on.
The kick, though, from Deacon, it just stood on the lush turf and went straight up in the air. Hodgson, he got away with it. Here's Stephen Wild. Salford bound, 2011, Stephen Wild. The 18th man finding their voice. Brown, good kick behind the defence for David Hodgson to chase. Bounce, perfect! Great play from Carl Price. Got there quick enough then.
Certainly did, but why did David Hodgson put on the brakes? Surely he would have the pace. As soon as he got the football, he was looking to either offload on the inside. Well, that was an opportunity lost there.
Here's Riddell for Wigan. Let's go down to Bill. News of George Carmont, Bill.
Yeah, problem for the Wigan Warriors. Only 3 men on the sidelines now because there's no sign of Carmont coming back.
Go on.
Thank you. Carmont's got this really bad cut on his hand. They've tried to repair it, but he cannot hold the ball, apparently. They can't let him back out there because it'll just flare up again, so they're going to have to go through the day without him.
There's a decision to make for Thierry Alibert here because Sam Tompkins might have touched down. It was an enormous mistake from David Hodgson. Was there a knock-on by Sam Tompkins? That's the question that Thierry Alibert has to answer. Nothing wrong with the onside, offside. You can see his boots, they are bright yellow. Now then, this is the crucial one. Mistake here from Hodgson.
Now this is where Sam Tompkins touches it, but does he keep control of it? That's what they've got to decide. This is where he'll touch it with his left hand. Going down, slowly but surely.
No, it's the separation, isn't it? The knock-on before the try line.
He's lost it anyway. No, he hasn't. He's rolled it now. Well, the crowd have not seen the separation.
It's got to be a knock-on.
I don't think he's great. Well,
the crowd haven't seen where the try line is. I think I'm with Phil. I think he's knocked on.
No try.
Well, that's what you lot think. What does Thierry Alibert say? He's the man who is more important. The Wigan crowd thinks this try will be given. David Hodgson is watching anxiously as Sam Tompkins. Here comes Thierry's decision. It's denied. It was a knock-on.
And it's nervous times for Wigan, Eddie. I know they have a 10-point lead. They're by far the best team in this match. But there's another chance here for them just to put some more confidence and daylight on the scoreboard. It's a great effort by Sam Tompkins, but it's clearly no try. And Huddersfield, while they're only 10 points behind, are still a minor threat and irritation to Michael Maguire and the coaching staff at Wigan.
Well, they've lost 2 of the last 3 home games, Wigan, against Warrington and St Helens. They did beat Salford in between, 60 points to 10. And if you look in the history books, they played 4 grand finals, winning only the one. The last one was 2003 when they lost to Bradford. They also lost to the Bulls in 2001 and then St Helens in 2000. Earlier in the decade when Bradford were one of the dominant forces of the Super League. Griffin with a good run for Huddersfield.
Got to build on this now. Quick play the ball, something that they've failed to do throughout this game.
Hodgson gets it away to Lunt. Stefan Marsh trying to usher him to the sideline. Brett Hodgson. Brough. Robinson. Shows it to 2. Gives it to Kevin Brown. Gets it away to Kodjo. Good hands. Lawrence. Tucson did well. Cut off the path.
Best passage of play by the hands from the Giants. That was good stuff. Got to be a good kick into the corner.
Brown to Well, he missed out Robinson and found Brough. There's the kick to the corner, looking for David Hodgson. Carl Price just says, well, we'll take no chances.
He did the right thing as well. He knew they were zoning in on him. Well, it was a shocking pass out wide. He was supposed to go for Luke Robinson to start with. Luckily, it landed in the hands of Danny Brough as a competent kicker.
When do you think it was, by the way, that Carl Price found out he was playing? Was it when he was on the way to the ground, or in the warm-up, or what? Because I think he's handled it well, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's done everything in best of it, hasn't he? It's got to try.
My guess would be it would be sometime about an hour before kick-off. I did see Darryl Goulding going over to a part of the ground before with a physiotherapist, Eddie, and at that point in time they must have been conducting some form of physical test. From that time on, I think it was decided that he was going to play. It is difficult when you arrive as a reserve in a game. But again, the Wigan defence, 3 and 4 men in so many tackles.
And it was against Keith Mason. I wonder if Fabio Capello then might be able to learn something from the Wigan strategy.
It takes a mental toughness to come to a game as the reserve, not knowing as well whether you are going to be playing. But look at here, Wigan, Huddersfield have got him on the outside.
They have with Lawrence. And Lawrence, can he get round Tompkins? Oh, it's a great... No, it's not a great ball. It might be Fielding's made a mess of it. It could be a try for Cudjoe. It is. Leroy Cudjoe. They took the risk, did Huddersfield. They got them wide with Lawrence. The ball was awful, frankly, coming back inside. And Stuart Fielding looked like he had it all sorted out. But then he just lost it at the last moment. And Cudjoe, well, they were around him like ants, actually. And Cudjoe was the man who reacted. He gets the try. Huddersfield are back in this.
Well, we haven't seen much attacking play by the Giants tonight, but this is wonderful stuff. They call this Wigan defence out wide on the left-hand side. Very rare indeed, but it came at a time where they've just got to keep testing their arm. They had to try something. See how they got it out wide. And then, quick pass. Looked as though Lawrence was going to go through, step on the inside. He was a desperate pass. Robinson couldn't get to it. Fielding had a chance, but Cudjoe says, I'll take the 4. Beautiful stuff. He knew he had them, and then back on the inside. Desperation pass. Robinson said, oh no. Fielding said, yes, I'll give him a gift.
His 40th try for Huddersfield, his 250th point for Huddersfield, Leroy Cudjoe. 20th try of the campaign. Hodgson to try and cut the deficit to 4. The reigning man of steel comes up with the goods. It's 10-6.
Well, it's been a clear ploy from Huddersfield, Eddie. They're not going to beat Wigan down the middle of the field, but they're going to take them on the outsides, both the left and the right flanks, through passing and kicking plays. And Cudjoe has that one, and he knows that he's pretty happy here now, Nathan Brown. They're back in this game, even though they've been outplayed for almost an hour.
They're right back in it. And, well, that is the jersey that belongs to Andy Coley. And what they're trying to do this year at Wigan is they're trying to recognise the significant achievements in players' careers. And that's a special jersey for Andy Coley. But that'll end up in the 350th appearance for him. And that will end up in his trophy cabinet, I'm sure, when his playing days are over.
On that last try from Huddersfield, Eddie, Pat Richards, usually very, very solid in his defensive decisions, decided to come in and help Joel Tompkins when he didn't really need to. Huddersfield good enough to exploit that on the outside and send Michael Lawrence down an inside ball, and Cudjoe benefited from Stuart Fielding's mistake. But an unusual defensive error from Wigan, but well exploited by Huddersfield.
Well, we've got a game now, 10-6. It's really in the melting pot. Furlongo's lost it. What an error from an experienced player like David Furlongo. To be fair, he'd been out for the last 7, but that, not what you'd expect from a man who's won 12 caps for the Kiwis.
And at a crucial time as well. Nathan Brown will be furious over that. He's a talented player, we know. And Wigan will not be rushing things here. They'll just want to get back into the swing of things. Utilise their strength in the forwards, which, as Phil Clark mentioned, they've really controlled this game, Wigan, and yet they're only 4 points in front.
This is Stephen Marsh. Third appearance for Wigan this year for Marsh, and all of them against Huddersfield. He played in Edinburgh, played a fortnight later at the Gal Farm, and here he is tonight playing on home soil against them, having come back from Widnes. Riddell, Deacon, Tompkins, we held on to that bravely because Cudjoe and Lawrence were hunting him. Riddell, Fielden.
Got it. 4. Move.
Riddell pointing left. I bet he goes right. There you go. Finds O'Loughlin. Here is Luluai.
5.
Clawed to the ground by Lunt. It was.
Go.
Try saver then.
Liam Farrell back inside. O'Loughlin with a high kick. Pat Richards, can he get to this? Well, he can, but he's knocked it forward.
Sticks.
Oh, it's a goal line dropout. I thought that Pat Richards got the hand to that. Cudjoe did okay, as it turns out. He's right too.
Yeah.
Come on, lads.
You just can't take a risk with Pat Richards jumping behind you.
That's a great call from Phil Bentham.
Okay. Time off. Michael.
It's been a difficult night for him, hasn't he, for the referee?
On them kicks?
I must say that he learned from his error in the first half. Remember when he made no attempt to go high when they kicked to him, but he certainly got to it on that occasion.
And that's it. It's about being decisive, Steve-O. Whether you're going to attack the ball and try and catch it or bat it out, be decisive in your decision.
Richards brings the ball back in field, met by Griffin, Mason, and that's good defence from them.
Move.
There was a third body in there as well that belonged to Stephen Wild.
Go.
Riddell, Palliasina.
2.
Well, wherever he ends up next year, he offers something, doesn't he, for 15-20 minutes each half, Palliasina. Fielden taking on Griffin, gets away from Griffin. Gets away from a couple more. Knock on by Liam Farrell. It wasn't the best pass, to be fair to the youngster.
No.
I think Fielden just he had a bit of a rush of blood then because he'd beaten 4 men on the run.
Bring it over here, lads.
Well, he sidestepped 3 and then offload a shocker. And it's things like that, and you can see that he's absolutely furious with himself. At a time when they needed that position in the field of play.
It's amazing, Eddie. We're almost an hour into this game. Wigan have had twice as much possession inside their opponent's half. I've never seen a game territorially dominated like this with the side going on to lose. So at the moment, all the work that they've done, the foundations they've set for the previous 58, 59 minutes indicate that Wigan will finish this game stronger. But still, there's something that just tells you that there's a maverick player within the Huddersfield outfit who could just come up with a magic play that would put them in front.
And I know, Phil, that you mentioned in the first half that Wigan have just been disrupted maybe by the fact that they've had the week off. Huddersfield, of course, have also had the week off, but come the playoffs, say Wigan finish top, say they win the first match, they get another week off, don't they? And then they have to pick up, and then if they win the right to get to Old Trafford, they get another week off. But here's David Hodgson, that's miles away. Oh, and the ball has been missed by everybody, picked up by Luke Robinson. Oh, is that a try for Robinson? What a try for Luke Robinson.
He threw the dummy, went in at the corner. He's got to make sure, Phil Bentham. He's going upstairs to Uncle Albert to make sure that it's right. It's at a crucial moment, this. But a beautiful long pass there by Kevin Brown sent Hodgson away.
As I say, talk of playoffs from finishing top of the table is maybe a bit premature.
As they often say, it's a funny old game. Brough never touched it. Had a wild swing at it. And then he got it again. Look at that. Brough said, well, I never got anywhere near it.
It's just the grounding that they've got to look at.
And Robinson throws a beautiful dummy.
2 dummies.
And then goes for it. This is a try.
Great
No doubt
stuff.
about that.
Well, he began life as a Wigan player, and he's just hauled Huddersfield back level. The try is given by Thierry Alibert. Luke Robinson. He returns after missing the last 2. He played for Wigan in the 2003 Grand Final against Bradford. Half-back, hooker, doesn't matter. Great bit of play from Luke Robinson. Not got the longest legs in the business, but he's got a really quick brain, and 2 dummies sold here to Wigan.
Look at the pass here now from Hodgson to his namesake, back on the inside. Wild swing from Brough, picks it up, neat dummy. He knew he had to get the dummy. He knew if he passed it, it'd be over the whitewash. Oh, superb. Just pulled in the winger. Price went for the dummy runner through. This is a great individual. That is a wonderful try.
Now, the last time we saw Huddersfield on Sky Sports, David Hodgson kicked a goal off the touchline to claim a draw against Hull Kingston Rovers. This kick off the touchline is to push the Giants in front for the first time. Can he do it? And the answer is yes. 12-10, the Giants. They're ahead for the first time. What a fight back.
Fabulous. You've conceded 30 plus points, and the last 2 times you've played Wigan. You've been down to 11 men at times in this game. You've made 40 more tackles than the opposition, and you find yourself in front with 20 minutes to go. That's a brave effort from Huddersfield.
Certainly is. They never threw in the towel, that's for sure. But you've got to go back to that incident where Stuart Fielding in a good position just after Huddersfield had scored their first try. Knocks on, gets a poor pass, gives them the hope, gives them the chance, and they've taken it.
Well, we've been talking all night about Wigan claiming the league leaders' shield. It's a fascinating game, this, because after going 43 years since claiming an away win at Wigan, they've won here in 2005, 8 and 9. They're unbeaten in Wigan for 3 years, and they are now sniffing a 3rd win in a row against the Wigan Warriors. And that is not a 40-20, but it nearly was. My word, Pat Richards allowed that ball to bounce, and it just went down the line all the way. Down to Bill.
Eddie, the mystery down on the sidelines is whether Ben Davies is going to feature for the Wigan Warriors this evening, because 17, 18 minutes to go, and the youngster is still sitting on the sidelines. Of course, George Carman ruled out for the rest of the game, but Ben Davies, no sign of him getting into the thick of things, and he looks mighty impatient to do so.
Yes, it's how they utilise their substitutes, the coaches, as much as anything else.
It's also how that Wigan get their composure back. If they start panicking, they're going to be in one heck of a mess. They've got to get back to the basics that got them there in the first place when they took the lead, and that's good hard work in the forwards, then the link out wide.
And look where Huddersfield returned the ball to, just on the halfway line. And what Phil talked about, this territorial, this ping pong. Now Huddersfield, there's been a sort of a turn in this game. Huddersfield are doing to Wigan what Wigan did to them for the previous 60 minutes.
Well, it's very much in the balance, this match now. Here's Mason again. Palliasina dealt with the threat this time.
Hold, goal, 3.
Kevin Brown gets the ball away to Gilmore. They're attacking down that left-hand side with vengeance. Thomas Lulawai did well. Brett Hodgson, dummy half. Kevin Brown pops it up to David Fayumu. Palliasina gets hold of him, but he gets the offload away. They're lined up wide. Robinson, booming pass. It's poked out of the air by Pat Richards.
Perfect position there by Richards. You could see Robinson threw a little dummy before he offloaded. That's the one, and when it did come, thank you very much indeed.
That's looking for the miracle pass, Steve-O.
Here's a miracle run from Santo again. Look at this boy go. What a try this will be. Outstanding. Touch of class. Best of British. Sam Tompkins. Moments like that make the hair stand up on the back of your neck. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. What age is he? He's 21. He's a giant in this game already. Wonderful try in his 50th start for Wigan and his 6th at full-back. Just sensational.
He jumped into dummy half. He knew that Huddersfield were thinking other things rather than getting their defensive line. Mason had gone left. Lawrence was slow to come out. Look at this, that's a huge gap. He took the opportunity. Eddie said it all. This kid's brilliant. It's a brilliant try. In times of trouble, every team in any sport, they look to their star. And
There's
it just
nobody in that
celebrates.
stand.
Celebrates
There's
to
not
an
one
empty
person,
stand.
Steve-O.
Unbelievable. Well, I think there is. There's 2 people in there.
He's fist pumping to a steward. What a run. What an awesome sight when you see him stretch his legs.
Brilliant. He's the reigning Young Player of the Year, and I just wonder whether, with inspirational passages of play like that, he could win this year's Man of Steel. I'd love it if he did. Absolutely love it.
Well, he's had a brilliant season, as we all know, anybody that's involved in rugby league at any level.
Richards adds the extras. Huddersfield's lead lasted just a couple of minutes, thanks to a piece of inspiration from Sam Tompkins.
And the beauty of it is, he's been able to assess what he was going to do as he was going himself into the dummy half position. When he picked that ball up, he could see that there was just half a gap, that they failed to fill in quickly, and he knows he has the ability.
He's looking for the fans. They're at the other end, Sam. There they are.
There might be a mirror at that end somewhere.
Actually, there's two guys. Look, there's
two. There's only two.
There's two blokes in there who are supposed to be ball boys.
Must be the relations. What a great run. He's a fabulous talent, Sam Tompkins, whether you put him in at half-back or full-back. The whole idea is get the ball in his hands. He's the danger with the ball in his hands.
He is. Here they are. He was celebrating to the two youngsters. Look where they are. Nobody else is in that stand, just those two.
And those two kids will be saying, I was there.
Yes, absolutely.
I was.
I don't know about, I mean, is it the luminous boots that just makes him look as though he's taking a wider stride than anybody else? Here he is again.
It's called talent, Eddie.
He's gone for a 40-20 here. Brett Hodgson cuts it out, though.
Now, this is where they've got to get back to the hard defensive line.
Well, I don't know whether the Huddersfield Giants, Eddie, will try and just go down the field. They might not win this game, but they've shown other teams a template for causing trouble against the Wigan side, and that's by shifting the ball wide. They've made tremendous breaks on the left and the right. Perhaps it's been the best way to get forward. Can he find the offload? Not with three men tightly clamped around him.
When you think about the Sam Tompkins story over the past 12 months, Phil, had it not been for an injury to Tim Smith, we might not even have seen him last year, never mind been crowning him as Young Player of the Year. And now, I mean, he's got to be a candidate for Man of Steel, hasn't he?
I would agree with you. That's the thing, isn't it? When opportunity knocks as a young player in this country, you have to be ready, and that's what he was. He made sure he prepared his body and his mind and his skills, and he had everything that was there waiting just for that opportunity. When he got the chance, it shows they were going to be. It's interesting in this game, he has been alternating in the second half, Eddie, a little bit between fullback and left wing. They really move him around, and his concentration levels do have to be very high for what he's asked to do.
And the one other thing is that the Wigan club, of course, they want to try to keep him away from the publicity, but you know, with a guy and a kid like this with so much talent, you just can't help it.
Impossible.
He's a star.
He is. It's impossible. I mean, there are many other candidates knocking around in the Super League this year for all the accolades, but he's been consistently good from the start.
Yeah. And he's a level-headed kid as well.
And to see him score a try like that in Brisbane in the middle of November in the Four Nations final. Am I dreaming?
Well, as long as he scores it and it's a winning try, Eddie.
Exactly.
We don't want to do it as a consolation effort. And then they're trying to go around the Wigan team. They've got him again on the outside, but look, they're in retreat. Sean Lunt's had an interesting season, as I said. He's starting as the hooker, almost of an international calibre, but he's drifted away, hasn't he? Now playing sort of back row.
Well, Huddersfield have got to come again. A remarkable fight back from 10 down at half-time.
They've got to do something different like they did for the 2 tries previous. Just take a chance, keep the ball alive.
That looked like a bit of a high shot on David Fayumu.
He felt it as well. He's injured.
This time it's a penalty against Wigan. The ball was stolen. Stolen from Keith Mason.
Well, to be fair to Keith Mason, you know, he knows he's going to be a target, and he's the type of player that Nathan Brown likes. Let's go in there. This is the injury. Maybe, no, it's hit across the, I think Riddell got him across the chest first.
They're asking for trouble, Steve-O, inviting Huddersfield down into this part of the field, because we know they've got points in them.
And they've got the giant figure of Crabtree. Brough finds Brett Hodgson. Flat pass to namesake. No, it isn't. It's Graham Horne. Danny Brough. Keith Mason will take it forward. Boos. That doesn't matter to him.
No, and there's always a chance that they might claim a penalty as well.
Fayumu. He was limping a moment ago. He's so close. Coley then threw himself. Brough. Poor pass. Poor pass from Danny Brough. Gilmore. They've lost 20 metres here. And he's in touch, is he? No.
No, just kept in.
Brown. Brough. Better kick, it's Cudjoe! It's a try for Cudjoe! It's the second try for Cudjoe! What a great kick that was from Brough. And Cudjoe, well, question marks over him in the first half when he failed to deal with a high ball for Pat Richards. Brough has been injured though after that, but Cudjoe just leapt then, picked it out of the air, plonked it down. With a kick to come, Huddersfield could take the lead yet again. Leroy Cudjoe, 2 tries in his last game as well, at home to Wakefield 2 weeks ago, and a try against Wigan at the Gal Farm.
I said the Giants need to come up with something different, and this is no fluke. They've been practicing on this. That is sensational. Outstanding rugby league football. Looked up, knew exactly who was going to be there. Bang. No one at home. Nice step, nice try. Is he happy? You bet your life he is.
Good on him, Nathan Brown.
Well,
reaction from a coach, I don't think you can beat it.
No, Phil Collett, instead of kicking to Pat where Pat Richards or Carl Price, they have to come up somewhere, kick a little somewhere different, and that's a wonderful kick from Danny Brough. Probably looking at the wrong foot for a kicker, wrong side for him to kick to, and inside of his foot, wonderful touch.
Great kick from Brough, and well played Leroy Cudjoe, and it's all gone very quiet here in Wigan. Brett Hodgson to give them the lead again, which he does with aplomb. 18-16 to the Huddersfield Giants. The time's now important. Just over 8 to go, and Nathan Brown, well, he's up and down off his seat like a fiddler's elbow.
Well, it's an interesting time for Michael Maguire in the Wigan side. We've said this is a great game to prepare for the playoffs. It's a great scenario here for Wigan now, behind with 8 minutes to go.
Well, they held the lead for 2 minutes last time. They've got 8 to go now. Can they hold on for longer than just 120 seconds? Here's the try scorer, Cudjoe. They deal with him.
Was a hero of the day, that is for sure. 2 valuable tries, and
nothing fancy now, surely, from Huddersfield in this position.
Well, they know they've got the kicking game as well, and that's going to be important. It's got to be a deep kick, but make sure it goes over the whitewash. Eat up the time, set up the scrum, and make sure your defence is solid.
Huddersfield arriving at Wigan, knowing that Hull Kingston Rovers had won earlier in the day. Oh, back to one and a knock on. Riddell. He's given them the. Well, he's given them the advantage, hasn't he? Haven't they kicked that ball forward?
Well, how's he? Back to one, he said.
Back to one. There's the knock on. Advantage over, surely.
Mark Riddell kicked it forward, didn't he?
Advantage over.
He's made an error. That's the second one he's done, Phil,
surely.
Today, yeah.
Or have I got that wrong?
No, I know it's definitely on a pass. A pass negates the advantage. You would imagine a kick or travelling the ball past the line of advantage.
They get over the advantage line. I know they don't end up in possession, but it's, well, maybe we have got it wrong.
Well, I can tell you a pass negates it, but a kick like that, I'm not sure.
Well, Tompkins has gone out wide. He was going to be the second receiver. He's now gone a little bit wide. Will he get it straight from Lulawai? No.
One. Move. Hold. Go.
Here's Coley. Coley for Wigan. They are hunting what would be another priceless try. Now it's Tompkins. Again. Grounded this time by Lunt and Robinson. Deacon to O'Loughlin. Back it comes to Lulawai. Here is Chris Chewson. Oh, and Liam Farrell's gone without it.
That is a bad error. They didn't have to panic. They had plenty of time. Just camp down there. That was a forced error pass. It just shows you that when you're under pressure, the best sides, and he knows that silverware's not in this stadium yet.
Well, I understand that even if they'd have won tonight, Wigan would not receive the League Leaders' Shield because Michael Maguire wants his men to continue right the way through to the end of round 27. I think they play Bradford here, and if, and it is an if at the moment, if they win the League Leaders' Shield this year, it will be presented then, not before. Here's a penalty that is manna from heaven for Huddersfield.
Well, they got him offside there, just a little bit too enthusiastic. You can see there he had 4 to 5 to select from. Eagerness to get into the faces, and it's amazing that the Giants completely out of this game for 3/4 of it, and yet look at them, they are leading. That old saying there, when you just say, you take your chances. You take your chances.
You were plucking around for that old saying. You know what you would say is that they played themselves back into form towards the end of this season. They had that blip, I said, in May. Some terrible performances from them. But this game shows that to go 10-0 down against the league leaders and drag yourself back into an 18-16 lead with 5 minutes to go shows character.
Well, from our position up here on the gantry, unbelievably, there are some people leaving this ground. They're on their way home, and Wigan are trailing by 2 points. And they now have the possession because of this mistake. Why would you leave a game like this with 4 minutes to go?
That's a bad error.
They're on the way.
He's running as well.
I know. Mel, he wants to get the
home.
traffic.
No, he's going to get home for the last few minutes, Eddie.
Must have left the iron on.
Yeah, the kettle's been boiling a while. Might be running a bit dry. I can't understand. Why would you go home with this? In the balance like it is, with 4 minutes remaining. And Graham Horne needs to be tended to. Now then, Wigan with Carl Price. We've had the moment of the match from Sam Tompkins, but we have had maybe one of the victories of the season in 4 minutes' time from Huddersfield. The crowd are doing their best to get them going.
Well, you got to look for the yellow boots, man, haven't you? Fullback Sam Tompkins. He's lurking.
And here he is. Now it's with Joel Tompkins. Here's Pat Richards. Huddersfield grabbing at him. Eventually they get him down. Tackle number 4. Clock ticking against Wigan. Towson. Oh, bad pass. Bad pass. Luluai on halfway now, losing ground. That's the last. Well, kick and chase and hope for Wigan here.
Surely plenty of height.
It's with O'Loughlin, they're running it. Bruff gets the ball away to... Oh, missed kick. Missed kick by Price. Infield it comes to Stephen Wild. He hangs on somehow.
Oh, it was a shocking pass. Wild had to dive for it.
You need some players who are gamblers, but Danny Bruff then took a gamble. All the chips on that long pass.
You were looking for the Maverick. We had Brett Maverick out there for a moment. Look at the air shot from Price. Here's Fayumu. Surely nothing silly from Huddersfield now.
Well, surely they'll just grind it through.
Well, they're seconds away from a 3rd consecutive win on this ground. They waited, remember, they waited 43 years for a away win of any sort against Wigan. Such is the measure of the progress this club has made. Graham Horne down on tackle number 4. Will Robinson fancy? No, it was a kick from Bruff, and it was gobbled up by Luluai. Now then, they've got to score a try to win this match from their own line, Wigan.
And they've got to be careful of Huddersfield not to give away a silly penalty. It's what Wigan did that allowed Huddersfield upfield. They've got to take a gamble here.
Harrison Hansen goes down on tackle number 3. Here is Andy Coley. Joel Tompkins, great tackle by Fayumu. They're saying he knocked on. Hodgson looks at the referee shakes his head. Richards, Deacon.
It's got to be a chip over the top, something different.
O'Loughlin going wide again. Farrell. Here goes Stephen Marsh. Bruff gets to him. The ball hits the deck. David Hodgson has it. Can David Hodgson? No, he's not even going to try. Or is he? He's teasing Sean O'Loughlin.
He did the right thing. Don't go any near that whitewash. Being in the field of play was the only thing that happened.
Big Earl Crabtree will trundle the ball forward. They're seconds away from an absolutely priceless win, the Giants. This is Robinson. Sean Lunt now. Sean Lunt still. Could have been a penalty, that. Robinson. Robinson for Nathan Brown. And Huddersfield gives it to Graham Horn. Marsh and Farrell deal with him. Now it's with Hodgson. Hodgson attacking the line. Gets the ball here to Lunt. And Lunt, it's just short. Oh.
He hasn't got it down. It's on the last. Oh, that was touched by a Wigan player. Is he going to be back to 6? No.
No, it's the turnover. Griffin caught in possession. 40 seconds remaining.
Where's
no
the
full back.
Where's the fullback? I was just about to say
Wigan.
that. They've got to get on with it very, very quickly. Tense moments here. That's
Good
a beautiful kick. What
Good
a kick.
deep kick. 20 seconds remaining. Do Wigan have something left? Is there yet more drama here? Chewson loses it and loses the match.
He's offside. He's offside. It's a penalty to Huddersfield. They've won it.
Nathan Brown celebrates. 3 seconds. They won't even get this going, but it is a penalty. They have to take the penalty. They have to take the penalty, but they know they've won it because they'll dump the ball into touch and then they'll just run the ball away. And Leroy Cudjoe is the man of the match. Well, there's all sorts of people on the field.
They think it's all over.
It is now. They dump the ball into there. There's the man, the happiest man in Wigan, Nathan Brown. He has fashioned a second-half comeback to savour. And last year's Coach of the Year has come up with an absolutely master plan in that dressing room at half-time.
Certainly did. A lot more energy in that second half. Forward certainly muscled up.
And the champagne's on ice, Steve-O.
It certainly is. And they'll be bitterly disappointed, Wigan. They know they had this game in their pockets and made a real meal of it in that second half. And as soon as Huddersfield came back and scored that first try, they went into panic mode.
Brian, 3 defeats in the last 4 home games for Wigan. We're all saying if they finish top, who'll want to come here in the playoffs? A few people might.
Well, absolutely. Michael Maguire is going to be very disappointed with that. But let's not take anything away from this Huddersfield performance. That is a brave performance. 10-0 down at the home of the league leaders, and you claw your way back into the game. First of all, with 11 men in the first half, that is a wonderful, courageous, tenacious performance from this Huddersfield team.
It is. There's only a small knot of their supporters here, but they are the ones who are cheering and singing and saluting their team. Brett Hodgson, the man of steel, the Huddersfield skipper with Bill.
Brett, at times it looked as though you were going to get buried in that game. That's a victory for guts and sticking with it, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. You know, it was a very physical, the most physical game we've had all year. And, you know, not many sides come here to Wigan and win, especially this year with such a quality side they had. So, you know, we're very proud of our effort, and still some things we need to improve, obviously, but, you know, we're over the moon.
You've got to take your hat off to your pack, because it was a real toe-to-toe job there, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was going to a...
Literally.
In the middle there for a while. I just made sure I was out the back of that telling each other which way to go. But, you know, full credit, you know, Keithy and Earl and, you know, Philly and these guys in the middle. Although they did a wonderful job against a very physical and dominant pack.
They talk about coming into form at the right time of the season. You've got players back today and form by the look of things. Yeah,
well, hopefully, you know, all the players get through this game unscathed, which, you know, I think that's okay. And we're sort of heading in the right direction this time. Last year we were probably slipping a little bit. So, you know, it doesn't mean that we don't, you know, we take our foot off the pedal. We've still a lot of hard work to do.
Thanks, Brett. Congratulations on the win.
Just like to say hello to my wife's grandmother at home. I love you, miss you.
Brett Hodgson played his part in this win, which ends a run of 4 away defeats for the Huddersfield Giants. Nathan Brown can be so proud of his men. 3 successive wins for the first time in Super League 15 for Huddersfield, and Leroy Cudjoe Well, it's his champagne that goes into the fridge tonight, and he'll enjoy it. Wigan's, though, well, it must be feeling like cold tea.